Ladies and gentlemen, what's good, y'all? It's the Chillmeister Chris Gary and Mr. Ohio Mike Soltez. And you're tuned into a brand new and I wouldn't say very special episode of Focus Fights Audio because I was almost about ready to say screw it and not get this done. But still, though, here we are, about ready to talk to y'all about some fights, if that's okay with y'all.
Yep, let's
But
do it.
But still, though, before we even continue on talking about this, I wish I could basically say we got some sponsors like, you know, the other people that we're used to hearing. But all I can just say is if you like this show, if you like what we're doing here, feel free to give us a thumbs up, give us a positive review on the podcast platforms of your choice. Put it as your number one preset if you're listening to it on iHeartRadio. You know, check out our Linktree page, all that other good stuff. But if you enjoy what you've seen off of Ryzen, you will definitely want to get a Ryzen Premium Pass on Ryzen.tv for about $17.
Mm-hmm.
Because it will not only ensure you the opportunity to watch Ryzen Landmark 12, if you play your cards right, you might be able to watch Ryzen on New Year's Eve from the Saitama Super Arena. But before we talk about either of those events, we have to talk about, and we are privy to talk about, Ryzen 51, which just took place, I think, about a week ago now that we're realizing.
A little over a week ago, yeah.
Yeah, because, of course, September 27th took place at the IG Arena in Nagoya, Aichi, Japan, a brand new venue. That's supposed to be like Crypto.com Arena, but Far East version. But still, though, point of the matter
Looked
is,
like a really nice arena.
yeah, it did look like a nice arena. I mean, I'm surprised they managed to get a good enough crowd to come into that venue.
It's a testament to their promotional capabilities that they were able to draw such a good crowd.
Oh, yeah, of course. And when it comes down to it, 18 bouts. I mean, before we even talk about the final fights that actually got people out of their seats, I mean, what were your thought about the fact that there were so many decisions on this damn card?
Well, it was a slog to get through at times. That's number one. Some of the fights were like Motoya versus Shinryu, I thought was really good. Ashizawa and Umeno was fight of the year, or at least a candidate. I'm looking at them now. Those two young kids, Mahiro Yamaki versus Kushi Ishizaka. That was a phenomenal fight. On the one prelim that I thought that really delivered.
Oh, and I mean, to be honest, we can talk about these prelims, at length before we talk about the main event. And I just want to quickly run through all those because all four of these fights ended in unanimous decision verdicts. Yuhei defeated Jin Wakita via unanimous decision. Of course, Yuhei was fighting in his mixed martial arts debut. Wakita,
kickboxing background, I believe.
Yeah, kickboxing background, and I think a shootboxing background, if I'm not mistaken. As I'm looking at I know somebody's basically getting mad right now saying, why are you looking at Tapology? But still, though, there's no other data available for this guy. So, let's just go with what we know. Yuhei defeated Jin Wakita via unanimous decision in a 146-pound bout. Daisuke Kobayashi defeated former shootboxing star, current shootboxing star, Shuto Sato in his MMA debut via unanimous decision. Kobayashi runs his record up to 6-2. Kushi, or the young fight you're talking about, Kushi Ishizaka versus Mahiro Yamaki. Ishizaka defeated Yamaki via unanimous decision. The 19-year-old improves to 5-1. The 18-year-old drops to 3-2. And the fight that really caught my eye, and I'm pretty sure it caught your eye as well, Kosuke Sugimura, aka Street Heart Star Bob Kosuke, defeating Shogo Ulta via unanimous decision, dropping Ulta down to 5-6. Kosuke with the win gets up to 3-6, which, to be honest, I know these are local fighters that are just born to put asses in seats. And in the case of the two young fighters in the third prelim, they got a bright future ahead. But when it comes down to these prelim fights, especially when it comes down to the featured prelim, which was at 157 pounds, do you think that they managed to make enough of a buzz to get noticed by the big execs at Rizin?
I think that the two kids in the third opening fight absolutely deserve to be signed. They've got some real potential. The other 6, well, maybe Yuhei. I mean, let's see how he does in deep and then go from there. If this is what he chooses to do. There's a kickboxing base at least to work with. So, and Jin Wakita, I believe, had a winning record.
Yeah, his record was 4-1. Now it's 4-2.
Okay, so maybe there's something there. See how he does in deep, and then, as I said, go from there. The others, whatever.
It's like you just don't even care about them.
I don't. Like, to be blunt, I don't care. I really don't. Okay, the dude that Street Fight Bob is 3-6-1. Big deal. Have him win another fight or two, and when you come back to Nagoya next, put him in an opening fight.
Well, yeah. I mean, come to think of it, where else would he need to be?
Deep.
I mean, aside from deep, maybe
or maybe I don't know, maybe an undercard from like one of the 27 fights on a Grachan or a Gladiator or a Fighting Nexus card.
I mean that too, but if he keeps but here's the thing, it's like I always say, and I'm pretty sure a lot of fight fans would agree, when it comes down to Rizin, if you fight worth a damn, you're gonna get bought back.
Yeah, well, he didn't really fight worth a damn. He just out-wrestled the guy.
Yeah, of course. So when it comes down to all 8, when it comes down to at least 7 of the 8, considering the fact that they didn't fight worth a damn, you wouldn't invite them back.
I would invite, like I said, I would just invite the 2 teenagers back. The others need some work, is what I would say.
Okay, so 6 out of 8.
Yeah.
But
the third fight was really good. The other 3 were utterly forgettable.
Yeah, of course. And that's why, aside from me jotting down entrance music, nobody really cares about the prelims.
Yeah, like I said, it was just something to do to kill time before the main show.
Oh yeah, of course. And Takumi Fukata saying, "Hi, thank you for the invitation yesterday. Domo arigato, Takumi-san. Thank you for joining us." And considering the fact that we now have our first comment talking about this, if you're listening to this, you should watch more of our live streams whenever these shows do come out. All you have to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the little bell notification icon, and you'll be beamed into whatever type of content that we put out, be it interviews, live streams, fight retrospectives, maybe even a nice little video or 2, maybe a little audio piece. But still, though, point of the matter is, if you check out more of the Focus Fights YouTube channel, you'll be a little bit more informed than the usual. But still, though, speaking of something that's informing, I mean, we can go ahead and just start talking about the co-main event and the main event a la carte, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think there's much to talk about because these were just 2 dominant performances, and it sets up a potential super fight.
Yes, of course. Roberto Satoshi de Souza defends the rising. Sorry about that. I mean, come to think of it, I just have a little brain fog when I try and skip over some things that I shouldn't be shooting my mouth off about. But still, though, let's go ahead and talk about the co-main event and the main event a la carte. In the main event, Roberto Satoshi de Souza became the only rising fighter to defend his title at least more than once. Now he's done it 5 times, retaining his rising lightweight title for the 5th time, choking out former UFC veteran, former Pancrase Neo Blood tournament winner, Yoshinori Horie. 1 minute, 40 seconds, round number 1, came through and steamrolled him that quick.
Yeah.
And in the co-main event, Razabali Shadulayev defended his rising featherweight title for the 2nd time and keeping his undefeated record intact by steamrolling through Russian stalwart Viktor Kolesnik, the Krasnodar Death God, as the Japanese call him. 33 seconds, right cross, ground strikes, smited him. But now comes all the noise about the fact that, let's just say they don't get the next opponents. Let's just say Roberto Satoshi Souza doesn't face off against Shunta Nomura, or Rajabali Sajulayev is just bored of fighting basic talent at featherweight, be it domestically in Japan or internationally. I mean, could Shunta really be next for Satoshi? Can Shadulayev be stopped? Or could they eventually face each other if they both avoid going to the UFC? Could we see a Shadulayev versus Satoshi super fight?
I think we can. Whether it behooves Rizin to do that, I don't know. Both of them, like Shadulayev seems like he's really getting popular in Japan. He got a really big ovation multiple times there during the parade of fighters, and then during the intro when he was introduced himself. So they've got something with him, and Souza and Satoshi is Satoshi as far as pretty popular. So I think that would be intriguing. I can't say for sure, but I do think that would sell some tickets for Saitama. I'm not sure you could headline Saitama with it, like a New Year's Eve show, but at the worst, it'd be a damn good co-main.
I mean, if you're saying it would be a damn good co-main, what would have to be the main event in order for that to shine?
Mikuru. Anything with Mikuru is going to supersede a title fight just because of his star power.
And you know what? I think I just seen like footage or photos of Terrence Bud Crawford being in Japan just to have a photo op, meet up with Tenshin Nasukawa, meet up with Nobuyuki Sakakibara. But there's no damn way he's going to be taking a fight, an exhibition at that, when he's now the new world champion, and especially against somebody like Mikuru, who's already had exhibition boxing experience against Floyd Mayweather. And
I mean, my thought is if he can do it, you just book Ren versus Mikuru for New Year's Eve.
In the last man standing fight?
I would think so, because with Ren being as injury prone as he is, if you don't do it now, are you going to actually be able to trust him to stay healthy?
I mean, come to think of it, when it comes down to that particular fight, let's just say Mikuru pulls out. Who can you trust to basically steer the ship if either Ren or Mikuru just pulls out?
To be blunt, no one. No one has that type of star power. I mean, New Year's Eve had Horiguchi, mind you, but it felt a little, what's the word I'm looking for? It felt a little
flat.
Yeah, it did, to be honest. We've said this ad nauseum. Outside of Mikuru and Ren, there's a star power issue in the promotion. I mean, I suppose maybe you could. I mean, Koji is a star, but he doesn't have enough star power outside of Osaka for Saitama. Is
that and the fact that he doesn't have a winning record, which of course that's all we Westerners care about.
Most of us do, but all I'm saying is that they would need to get creative with the matchmaking if they can't rely on Mikuru or Ren. I would assume then that Satoshi and Shadulaev, if in theory, would be the main event if they don't get either of their two biggest draws for New Year's Eve.
True. And I mean, come to think of it, it would be a slight callback to the first New Year's Eve fight for Rizin. I mean, come to think of it, Jiri Prohaska and King Mo main evented that first show, and nobody batted an eye because it was for the Grand Prix title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and obviously building up new guys takes time, and they're doing the right thing there. But as I've said, Mikuru is like a once every 5-10 years as far as star power. They don't, those type of draws don't grow on trees. They're very rare.
Understood. I mean, especially considering the fact that, you know, when it came down to Rizin starting out 10 years ago, they were known for polishing off these diamond in the rough type of fighters, like a Jiri Prohaska, like a Vadim Nim, like a Carl Albertson, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah, but the one issue was that they really didn't draw that much money. They were part of the package.
Oh yeah, of course. Especially considering this was a new promotion at the time, and they just wanted to find a way to crack that bottom right, so to speak.
Yes. Right. And then, but overall, those two looked phenomenal, and we'll see what happens.
Now, as far as, you know, Poirier and Kolesnik goes, I mean, I hate to basically pull a rabbit out of my hat and say neither of these two guys are Rizin worthy, even though they clearly are. I mean, what do you do next with either Poirier or Kolesnik or both?
Number one, Poirier needs to move down to featherweight. He's too small for lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he can be if Shadulaev moves up, leaves, whatever, I think he can be a viable contender there. He's just too small for 155. As far as Kolesnik, back to the drawing board. The one person I will say that I think might be able to give Shadulaev some problems, and we haven't seen him since June or whatever it was is Ilham Nazimov.
You know what? Good point, because he was putting over the fact that he wanted to be a part of these cards. I mean, to be honest, he even gone out of his way to tweet out to the Japanese public that he wants to be featured more in Rizin.
Yeah. And I would love to see him because I like him. He's a good overall fighter, but he's also very long. He would be a really interesting challenge for Shadulaev.
I mean, I wouldn't say sure about that. Still, though, when it comes down to that, that's exactly what Shadulaev needs as a challenge. He hasn't been outright tested yet in Rizin.
No, but he's fought quality. It's to his credit because he's fought some very good fighters.
I think
so. Oh, I think so too, Andrew. But it's just I think Nazimov would test him.
As in, Andrew is saying that I think Shadulaev will submit him.
And I agree with him, but I don't think it would just be a one-sided beatdown like Kleber or Kolesnik was. I do think Nazimov would use his length and would give Shadulaev some problems, at least initially.
I mean, yeah, of course. Which leads me to basically ask, in what round? Because, you know, damn well, Nazimov's not going to be one to go down lightly.
No, I would say late first, early second. But Nazimov, to me, is a very intriguing challenge. I genuinely think he's a damn good fight. He's that good of a fighter.
Oh, yeah, of course. And as far as Poirier goes, like you said, you want him to drop back down to featherweight.
Yes. Yeah. And I was hoping that he'd make it more competitive because I like Poirier, but I had a feeling this might happen just because when you at the weigh-in, Satoshi dwarfed him like holy moly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a lightweight. It looked like a welterweight versus a freaking featherweight.
I mean, in boxing or in MMA? Because I think
MMA.
Wow.
It looked that. Am I wrong? Because that size difference looked ridiculous. It looked like freaking Arturo Gatti, Joey Gamache.
of course. And by the way, rest in peace to Arturo Gatti Jr. But
I know.
still, I know, young man. But still, the point of the matter is when it comes down to Poirier, he definitely needs to fight somebody his own size, or in this case, his own weight class. And I think that, if he were to do that, he could definitely be a future star in Rizin. I mean,
I'd say put him in with, since they're both coming off losses, why not put him with Kisa Miyake?
You know what? Good point. And we will talk about Kisa Miyake later on, but still, though, that's a good point about that. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the Flyweight Grand Prix. And of course, we now got the geriatric final, so to speak. But let's not basically bag on their ages, because these
are two damn good fighters.
Yeah, of course. 38-year-old Hiromasa Okikubo basically punished Ali Bekgat-Zamatov for 3 rounds.
Out-wrestled him, outworked him.
Mm-hmm. On his way to winning via unanimous decision to be one half of the Flyweight Grand Prix final, 36-year-old Yuki Motoya, who just turned 36, by the way, basically put Makoto Shinryu Takahashi in his place for 3 rounds and beat him via decision to become the other half of the tournament semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
And waiting in the wings is Ersin Badman Yamamoto, who basically bullied Yuki Ito in their rematch.
You talk about a plan backfiring.
I mean, yeah, not only that, it's hard to believe that Ersin Yamamoto is now 6-8, but 2 of those 6 wins come by way of beating Yuki Ito.
There is such a thing as styles make fights. This is living proof of that.
Yeah, of course. But speaking of
Evander Holyfield.
Yes, of course. But still, though, point of the matter is when it comes down to the Motoya versus Okikubo final, I mean, again, like I said, it's not like Jurassic Park, but we still got 2 old guys that can literally go, so to speak.
Is it more like Land of the Lost?
Well, that too, but you're older than me. You probably know more about that than I do. But
I never saw that. I just know of it.
Right, of course. But still, though, Okikubo and Motoya really feels like one of those old dream fights that used to air on Access TV back in the day. But to be honest,
you're talking about Motoya and Okikubo?
Yeah, Motoya versus.
Remember, they fought before.
Really?
Yeah, 4 years ago, and Okikubo won by decision.
In Rizin, right?
Yes, and it was a very good fight, as I recall, and it was pretty. If I remember right, it was kind of contested, but, like I said, damn good fight, and and these two are excellent. So I'm looking forward to the final. I expect Motoya to push the pace. He's going to make Okikubo work more than Okikubo had to against Alibek.
Yeah, and of course, it wasn't 4 years ago. It was actually 6 years ago.
It was 2019?
Yeah, July
2019. Okay, I got it. I got that timeline wrong.
But yeah, it was back in 2019 when they faced off with each other the first time. Okikubo defeated Motoya via split decision. But with the lights on bright and with the title on the line, I mean, you have to think they're going to go hard. They're going to have to go hard in the yard.
I agree.
And Andrew was basically asking, how about the weight cut being an issue for Motoya?
You very well could, but with more time, with 2 months or 2.5, almost 3 months to 3 months to prepare, I think he'll be on point for that. But I can't imagine him being able to make flyweight that much longer.
Right. I mean,
I think that he's going to make Okikubo, like I said, he's going to make Okikubo earn that victory if that's what ends up happening on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm. And you have to think about it now. With this fight pretty much being set, what's next for the 2 losers of the semifinal fights got Zamatov and Shinryu. In addition to that, what do you do about the reserve fight? And it's in particularly the reserve winner, Ersin Yamamoto.
First, I would match Shinryu and Alibek against each other on New Year's Eve. Kind of a third place type thing. I heard that idea thrown out. I like that. That'd be an interesting fight. As far as Ersin, no way I put him in the final if someone gets hurt.
Champion who's under 500.
Yeah, that's not good. Ersin, you're gonna have. It's one of those things where you're going to have to use him. So Ken Daiichi got hurt. That would partially explain why he really didn't do much.
Oh, yeah, of course. That does suck. But going back to what you...
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe put him in with the winner of Tony Laramie versus Wataru Yamauchi.
Yeah, because those two are going to be fighting at Rizin Landmark in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, and then 6-7 weeks should be enough time, provided they're not injured, to be ready for New Year's.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that's an option.
But other than that,
I would maybe, if you want to put him in with with a regional champion, why not put him in with deep champion Yutaro Muramoto?
I can't say I never heard of him because
he's on Rizin multiple times.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I've just been carried away with a lot of things, but still, though, point of the matter is the fact that, Ersin needs a stay busy fight. And
right. He needs to be used, but it's just he's up, down. And as far as Ito, we may as well talk about it. As far as Ito, I don't know. That's maybe who else was in this Grand Prix? Zulu.
Zulu.
Put him in with Soya.
Yeah. You can't really put him in against Jose Torres because he's got something going on.
He'll get crushed.
As in Ito or Torres?
Ito would get out grappled and beaten handily with that.
Oh, yeah, right. And still, though, you can't really put Torres in a fight because, again, he will be booked for Brave CF next month. And I don't think that even 6 weeks would be enough time for Torres, should he survive his Brave CF fight, to get prepared and fight in Rizin.
And cut, provided it's at flyweight.
Yeah.
Now, if it's at bantamweight, maybe he can make weight in time, but flyweight, that's asking a lot without him compromising himself.
Of course, and add in the fact that he would have to make another damn cross-continental flight just to get over there.
Yeah, and then also there's, of course, he who shall not be named, Yamato Fujita.
Oh, yeah. I wish we could forget about him, but then again, he's a star over in UAE Warriors, and I don't know.
He's a good fighter. I don't understand why Rizin doesn't use him. Did he insult someone? I don't know.
To be honest, he might have, but I'm not really sure. But the point is,
it's just baffling.
It is baffling, to be honest with you. But still, though, and Andrew is basically bashing me privately, saying, hey, so this fighter is cool, and really, he fought really well. I use these things called sentence enhancers just to try and not flip over my fucking words. I'm trying not to fuck up here so that I won't have to basically embarrass myself. But still, though, enough about all that. Point is, Okikubo versus Motoya should be better the second time around, as it would probably remind me of watching those old dream fights on Access TV. I mean, and you are right.
Some of those were good, some of those were bad, and it also reminds me of the old Sengoku events.
Really?
Yeah, they had a lot of like smaller weight class fights as well.
Right, of course. But still, though, long story short, Erson doesn't need to be in no damn title fight because if he does, he will get crushed.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, if anything, he'll probably end up having quit the business moment if he ends up being put in a title fight.
Yeah.
But still, though, now that we have moved on from talking about the Flyweight Grand Prix, which of course was the highlight of the fight sports calendar, at least for Ryzen this year so far, we got to talk about the low light. And that is the fact that, thank God, the heavyweight Grand Prix is over. And now that the heavyweight Grand Prix is over and Alexander Soldat can beat Marek Samochiyuk via unanimous decision, I mean, yeah, we can talk all day about the fact that Marek has a potential KSW title shot against Phil DeFries coming because of how well he excelled in this tournament. But this is all about Soldatkin. How anticipated is the fight that he's going to have with Ryan Bader? And also, regardless of KSW opportunities or not, is Marek due for more Ryzen opportunities down the line?
I doubt most people will care about the title fight, to put it bluntly. And as far as Marek, maybe, I don't know. That's up to Ryzen if they want to continue to try to build a division. Even then, I don't really have much interest in watching the guy.
So basically, long story short, you're not anticipated for the Soldatkin Samochiyuk fight, correct?
No, I'd rather watch ice skate. I'd rather watch competitive figure skating.
I mean, come to think of it, you are in the north. You're in the Midwest. I'm pretty sure there's a Lake Erie Monsters hockey game that will be more.
Maybe. I mean, hopefully, I'll see the Blue Jackets at some point.
Oh yeah, of course. But
I mean, at least Edmonton's playing tonight.
Oh yeah, of course. But enough about hockey. But I mean, I would love to talk about hockey and basketball, but I just need to basically do another podcast aside from this. Still, though, when it comes down to the heavyweight Grand Prix, I mean, like I said, it's finally over. All of it, most of it was pretty much low light city. But
yeah, honestly, I couldn't name you half. I can't remember who the hell was in it.
That's why it's up to me to basically remember. I mean, Soldatkin made his way through the tournament, beating Prince Al Nala in a cage and beating or pretty much neutralizing Mikio Ueda and knocking him out.
Yeah, that fight sucked prior.
I mean, yeah, Ueda got the knockout of the entire tournament for obvious reasons in that first fight against Tsuyoshi Sudario.
Or Shoma Shibisai, because Shoma Shibisai could barely walk.
Yes, shows how much I've forgotten, but still, though. Soldatkin's strength of schedule, so to speak, and yes, I know it's an actual sports term, but bear with me here. He beat Prince Al Nala in the only Ryzen heavyweight tournament fight that wasn't in the ring. The first round, that is.
And it was somewhat watchable, but wasn't great.
Yeah, of course. Then he knocked out Mikio Ueda after Ueda got the knockout of the tournament in the first round. And then he beat Samochiyuk. As for Samochiyuk, on the other hand, I mean, obviously, I know that Daniel Dzubecki and Janet Mixodonsky are not going to be happy of me mentioning this and saying how bad it was, but his strength of schedule was 2 disastrous performances, albeit in wins over the American Predator Daniel James and Jose Augusto, before losing to Soldatkin. So, let's just say if push came to shove, but there were better heavyweights out there in the fight world do you think that this result wouldn't have happened?
Maybe. I honestly haven't given it much thought because there's just heavyweight in general is just not great right now. So yeah, I to be blunt, just am apathetic to the division in general right now.
I mean, is it because of the fact that, the certain 3-letter promotion just basically put an entire damper on a whole division?
That and just I don't think there's that many great heavyweights right now. I mean, it's kind of like the previous heavyweight era before Usyk and Fury and Joshua, and lesser extent Joseph Parker and a few others. It just wasn't that good, period.
That's because of the fact that you had the Klitschko brothers basically boring everything to death.
That too, but I'm just saying, like in general, there wasn't that many good contenders. And I just don't think there's many great heavyweight contenders out there right now. And whatever's in there is in UFC. So you're fighting for scraps with KSW and other promotions. But that's just my opinion.
That I can understand because, it's like you're saying, there was not really that much of a great heavyweight boom period between the time Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis took over all the way through the Klitschko brothers era and into what we got now with Usyk, Fury, Joshua, Wilder, and Parker.
Yeah, I mean, in the 10, 15 years ago, heavyweight was pretty good, as I recall. But now, as I said, you have Tom Aspinall fighting Cyril Gahn, which is probably the best fight you can make. I mean, it's a good fight, but with all due respect to Aspinall, I think you're going to see most of his title defenses be in England.
Oh, yeah.
Or if they want to draw something, it'll be in England.
Because of the fact that you got John Jones basically acting a damn fool, but now he, is acting less of a fool. He want to get in the good graces to be on that damn
White House card.
Yeah.
But bottom line is this: heavyweight division just isn't good right now, and that's in general.
I mean, boxing and MMA in particularly.
I think heavyweight in boxing is pretty good, but MMA is not great at all.
I mean, what would you think would need to be the meteor to hit the dinosaur, so to speak?
You just need to find you just need to find better fighters. I mean, it's really that simple.
And I mean, you can't really scour through the, crevices of the fight world these days because, of course, the non-UFC MMA, damn it, I said the 3-letter word. I wish I had a change jar to put some money in, but still, though, you're not going to find that many people outside of TKO's control, so to speak. You're not going to find that. Yeah. I mean, you're not that much good people outside of TKO. You're not going to find that many good people outside of the PFL. You'd be lucky if you find that rare diamond in the rough that isn't an asshole content creator who fights for Misfits or some of these other promotions.
Yeah. Shingo's good at finding gems. We know that, but heavyweight's going to be a challenge, at least right now.
Yeah, of course, especially considering the fact that, as it has been proven, Japan doesn't have good talent above not even 70 kilograms. No, yeah, a little over 70 kilograms, so to speak. But still, though, it's not like the rest of the world can really offer up anything better on the plate.
No, there isn't. But, it is what it is.
Exactly. But still, though, enough about talking about what Rizin doesn't have. What they do have now is a legitimate problem on their hands because you got Danny Sabatello. He wants a bantamweight title fight quickly. He wants to fight Naoki Inoue for the bantamweight title immediately, so to speak. He talked his shit. He got hit a couple of times with some with some knees to the skull while he was down. And yet he still beat Shoko Sato. But is he really worthy of getting a shot at Naoki Inoue with all the shit that he's talked and the performance he had? Because I listened back to the comment. Oh, okay.
No,
damn,
not at all. But there's no who else is there. I mean, Inoue's pretty much cleaned the division out, and they have some interesting. I mean, there is Tatsuya Ando.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first one that comes to mind. Honestly, I would book Ando Inoue on New Year's Eve. I think that would be the bigger fight in Japan. I thought Sabatello's wrestling, as usual, very good. But I thought his striking I thought he looked really slow on his feet with his punches. And I thought he got hit with some good right hands. And I think Inoue's boxing would give him huge problems.
Oh, yeah. Andrew says Ando would win in a fight against him and Inoue. But still, though, to your point, you're saying that Tatsuya Ando would be better suited for Naoki Inoue.
Absolutely, because he beat oh my god, the Azerbaijani, I forgot his name, and then he looked phenomenal against oh my god, Kim. Oh my god.
The Red Horse. Kim
Kyoki. No, the one that bantamweight, Ji Young Yang.
Oh,
that's who it is.
And
I was blanking.
Andrew is saying Sato delivered UFC friendly and legal knees to the ground.
I mean, he hurt Sabatello, but he just couldn't take advantage of it. I think Sabatello needs another fight.
It was kind of like how Jose Augusto tried to get the knockout win in the first round of the heavyweight tournament. Yeah, I know I'm reverting back to that shit show. But still, though, it was like Augusto getting the win in the heavyweight tournament, but he couldn't finish his opponent off after taking him down. He didn't know the assignment.
No, he didn't, clearly. I mean, and it surprised me because he had Sabatello hurt and he's a veteran. So, I mean, I'm surprised. Sato had a chance to finish him and he couldn't take advantage of it. And Sabatello out-wrestled him, out-grappled him.
He definitely had chances to finish him. And yeah, Andrew is right. Sato's soccer kick was beautiful. But still, though.
But that didn't make the fight was, other than those couple moments, the fight was not pleasant to watch.
Yeah. He
I don't know, he put him in a cocoon like that one episode of Dexter's Laboratory where Dexter was in a cocoon while Didi was trying to harass him.
Yeah, I think I remember that particular cartoon as well. The cartoon and the particular episode.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, but going back to the commentary before the fight began, actually, I mean, Damian Brown and Michael Schiavello, those Aussies, I mean, when you get bashed by an Australian, you know you had it coming. But when you get bashed by two, you know you got to rethink your life choices. And Sabatello was just getting grilled by the Aussie duo of Schiavello and Brown, just basically being told, hey, you're not for real. You're basically stinking up the joint. You don't deserve to have a title shot for all this shit you caused and all this shit you're talking.
Yeah, because he didn't back it up in this fight. Simple as that.
And Andrew was asking, what do you think of the judging on this show? The fight was one of the many that were judged weirdly because I think this was, it was a split decision win for Sabatello, but wasn't it like 30-25 Sato?
Yes. It was bizarre. So yeah, he is 100% correct. Some of this was just plain freaking weird.
I mean, come to think of it, there were a few 30-25 scored fights on this card. Even some scored oddly by referee Brian Miner, who was on loan from Connecticut for this damn fight card.
Well, he shouldn't be back, I can tell you that.
Unless it's for a bare knuckle exhibition.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing in of itself.
Yeah. But we now go from talking of, and one more thing about Tatsuya Ando. He had back-to-back submission, rear naked choke submission victory so far this year over Magaram Gatsunzade and Ji Young Yang. First round submission over Magaram, second round submission over JYY.
Oh, and I was going to say, if I'm Ryzen, I would book Sabatello versus the winner of Taichi Nakajima and Joji Goto on New Year's Eve.
I mean, that would probably piss him off more than anything.
Give a damn, to be blunt, I don't give a damn what it does. It's like, you don't, to be honest, the way he looked, I don't think he deserved the title shot yet. I think Ando should get the next shot.
And if anything, he failed to read the assignment. He failed to learn the assignment, so to speak.
Yes.
He
and then the other option would be, and this would be very intriguing because both of these guys are still very new to the game, have Sabatello face the winner of Jinosuke Kashimura versus Hyuma Yasui.
Oh, and that fight's coming up on
Landmark 12. That's an awesome fight. But I'm saying, like, I don't think Sabatello should get the title shot, but I do think there's some depth in this division now who aren't necessarily title worthy yet, but are intriguing.
And unfortunately for Sabatello's hopes and dreams, he is not intriguing.
Like, if he wants to talk all that smack, cool, but you gotta back it up.
Oh yeah,
and out wrestling someone for 15 minutes is not doing that.
I mean, he needed to be just like how he was in that first fight against Shinobu Oki.
Yes, and he wasn't even close.
I mean, if anything, like I said, in order for him to be noticed in Ryzen, especially as a foreign fighter, he needs to be dominant. He needs to learn how to finish people instead of basically be a whiny little bitch when you don't get what you want.
It's not even that. It's that he's not going to be able to command the money that he did in Bellator.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Performances like that. There would seem, I'm not trying to bash Bellator, but I'm just saying, like, too many of his fights in Bellator, as I recall, were decisions.
Oh, yeah. Of course they were.
So I'm just saying, like, he's got to learn. You're right. He does have to learn how to finish. Now, if he had beaten Sato, like, blew him the hell out of the water, which I thought he was going to do, I thought he had a shot at, then we're having a completely different conversation. But that's not how it went.
Yeah, and you are right. I mean, it's not hard to bash a guy which half of his wins are by finish, 9 of 16 in this case. But aside from Shinobu Ulta fight, the last time he had a legitimate finish was 5 fucking years ago when he was in Titan FC. I mean, you gotta be ready to just pounce on the motherfucker in order to basically, you know.
You know what? I'll make a compare. It's a weird comparison, and you may not know who this is.
Okay.
The first person that comes to mind, who was, from what I remember seeing of him and hearing, was an exciting fighter, but he didn't have a ton of power, was a Hall of Famer in boxing. I believe his welterweight, Jimmy McLarnin. He had, like, what was it, 60-something victories and, like, maybe 12, like, knockout in the teens, I want to say, if I remember right. But he was widely regarded as a very exciting fighter. So if Sabatello fought like that, even with a bunch of decisions, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But his style is just not aesthetically pleasing at all.
Mm-hmm. And
If you give me, if Sabatello is the Sabatello who fought against Ota, as I said, you have a completely different conversation and argument on his side.
oh yeah, of course. And by the way, Sabatello's last actual finish, aside from the Ota fight, was in Bellator 2+ years ago against Marcos Breno.
Okay.
The fight I was referring to was back in June of 2020 when he choked out Raymond Ramos in Titan FC. But still, though, you are right. He needs to basically, learn how to legitimately finish your opponents instead of just basically fuck around and wrestle fuck them for 15 minutes.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, like, as I said, excitement, generating excitement in your fights is just as, if not more important than the pre-fight theatrics.
Yeah.
Because if you don't deliver, eventually people are just going to tune you out.
Basically, the all sizzle, no steak approach. If you're doing all that shit in the build up of the fight, you need to learn to back it up when the fight matters.
Yes, 100%.
Exactly.
And yeah, I agree. I like Taichi Nakajima too. I think him and Goto is a phenomenal fight for Landmark 12, and that could potentially catapult someone into a title shot. Or not a title shot, but at least like a contenders fight.
Mm-hmm. And Andrew is bringing up a good point. Lots of American fighters talk so violently and then wrestle. The only one that actually backed it up was AJ McKee.
Mm-hmm. Yes. 100%.
Enough about us. But enough about us sweating through talking about Sabatello fucking up in victory. I mean, let's talk about a fight where even in defeat for Ryusei Ashizawa, the catfish, he definitely did more than just flop in and pulling his Roy Jones Jr. stunt. He basically was about more than just a highlight. He wanted to show up, show out, and try to get the win, but the judges did not see it that way.
No, and Genji Umeno, wow, that was he showed something in this one. Like, I was not expecting him. Like, his grappling obviously isn't going to be great when in the second MMA fight, but the fact that he was going for submissions and showed competent grappling, I think is a real testament to what he's been doing this last year or whatever it's been since he started training. And credit to Ashizawa for just having the sheer willpower to get out of those submissions.
Mm-hmm.
It was a phenomenal fight. I would pay to see this again. I would pay to see both of them. And finally, Umeno was an exciting fight.
When it comes down to these two J-Kick crossovers, I mean, like we're basically agreeing, that fight was just, it lived up to my expectation for sure, especially when Ashizawa tried to throw that corkscrew elbow to the ground, or was it just
I hope Ashizawa gets matched easier because I like Ashizawa. I'd like to see him matched against some jobber and just build him slowly. And Umeno, I think Umeno versus Takahiro Okuyama would be phenomenal.
I mean, you're saying Takahiro Okuyama. What about Tetsuya Yamato?
Maybe put him in with Ashizawa?
Yeah, that would help too. I mean, you know what?
Or if you want to just give them a win, just put them in with Taiga.
Yeah, that too. But
there's also Shogo Kuriaki.
Yeah, him too. But you know what?
Just don't put him in. Just please don't put him in with Takahiro Ishida, please.
Yeah, exactly. But since we're talking about, two J-Kick crossovers, let's talk about two more that open up the card. Takahiro Okuyama, the shoot boxing champion, submitting Tetsuya Yamato, the former Lion Fight and K1 champion, 4 minutes, 10 seconds of round number 1.
This was disappointing for me.
Because of Yamato?
Yep. I've always been I've been a fan of him for over 15 years, since the K1 World Max tournament in 2010 when he won that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just disappointing. I would have liked to seen him have a career renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
But credit to Okuyama, who was coming off 2 losses, I believe, in Deep, and for bouncing back. And he did what he had to do, and let's see how they use him going forward.
Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, Okuyama picked up MMA basically on a whim.
Yeah, I mean he's learning on the job. He's literally learning on the job.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, he's a shoot boxing world champion, a shoot boxing former. Well, he is a shoot boxing open finger glove champion, which, let's just face it, it's violence personified. But
Yeah, I mean, it's
still,
essentially shoot, and he has a base because shoot boxing is, I like to call it standing vale tudo anyway, with the
mm-hmm.
standing submissions and the throws. I'm not surprised he's had a somewhat decent transition to MMA.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's 2-0 as far as his transit. Well, he's 2-0 under Ryzen rules because his one fight in Ryzen was against Dark Rakuto Shirakawa. He got the armbar victory, 1 minute 15 seconds, back on December 26th at the Boxing Battle Summit. But now with his win over Yamato, I mean, it's like you said, isn't the sky's the limit for him?
I'm not gonna go that far. I would say that if he keeps improving, I think he could go some places with his striking because it's very good. Clearly, it's just with any other just kickboxer grappling. We'll see how he goes with it. We'll see how it goes. But like I said, he has a decent base with that.
And I mean, kind of think of it. You did say that a fight between Okuyama and Umeno would be, well, actually, no, that would not happen because in order for that to happen, Umeno would have to boost up another 12 pounds.
I could see it happening at a catchweight. I mean, because I can't really think of anyone. I can't, because you have Muay Thai. You could run it as Muay Thai versus shoot boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the weight difference. But we'll see.
Oh yeah.
If that's the case, maybe put Okuyama. Depending, I don't remember what Shogo Kuriaki's weight class was.
I mean, I am doing the bastardized searching right now, but still, though.
Because since he beat Taiga at one of the opening fights for Super Ryzen 4 and looked okay.
And I'm looking it up now. He beat Shogo Kuriaki beat Tiger Kawabe at a weight limit of 136.7 pounds.
Okay, so maybe him versus Umeno is the better option then.
I mean, I can see that happening.
I mean, as far as Okuyama, maybe you put him in with Hiroaki Suzuki.
Oh yeah, of course.
Shoot boxing versus shoot boxing.
And you know what? I'm basically hating to take the train off the rail and just run it through some different stations. But we can talk about Hiroaki Suzuki. Despite beating an undefeated prospect in Weili Huang of China.
I think he was 10-1 coming in.
Oh, right, of course. But still, he beat a prospect who was fighting his first time in Japan. But how much do the now 40-year-old Kaibutsu-kun, a.k.a. the General Killer, Hiroaki Suzuki, have left in the tank? I mean, let's face it. Yeah, he's 6-6 in MMA. He has a wealth of fight sports experience, but do you think that biological clock is ticking?
Oh, of course it is, but I thought he looked pretty decent. His defense looked better than I've seen it. Yeah, agreed.
Before I checked.
Agreed. He's just he's a solid gatekeeper with a deceiving record, in my opinion. And I thought his striking, as I said, I thought it looked on point. He he still looked like he had a few good years left in him, and his grappling looked better too. Like the defense was much better. His grappling defense was improved, I felt. And him getting, I believe, his purple belt at the end when he won was really cool.
Oh yeah, of course, because if he wouldn't have won that fight, that ceremony would have been really quiet and really private.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. But him and Okuyama would be fun.
And as far as Huang goes, you wouldn't want
I would assume he's just going to go back to China and pad his record a little more until his next big chance.
I mean, Michael Schiavello did say when Suzuki was beating up Huang, he's going to have a hard time going through the airport just to go back to China with how bad he was beaten up.
Yeah, he didn't try to defend those low kicks at all. Yeah, the experience won the day.
Oh yeah, of course, especially considering the fact that I don't know if it's just bad matchmaking on Risen's part, putting a prospect up against somebody who has been in the game for about a good 2 decades. But in the case,
you would think someone who was would think a prospect who's 10-1 would be able to beat someone who was 5-6 coming in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. But then again, I guess it's just a regular sports guy in me talking, because stranger things have happened when it comes down to under 5. I mean, it's like in sports, stranger things have happened with under 500 teams that beat some of the top teams in the land, or top in a certain conference.
Or for instance, when Daiju Takase, who was 4-7-1, beat Anderson Silva in Pride.
Yeah. I mean, that could also play in the part of Daiju Takase. Did he beat Emmanuel Yarborough?
Yes.
Yeah, that could also play into a
when rest in peace, Manny, he belly flopped, and Daiju had to get out of his waterbed.
Yeah, of course. But the point is,
talk about Jigglypuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're dating my geeky ass childhood, but still, point is, Hiroaki Suzuki is 40. I think that you would make him as an attraction fighter in Rise, you would continue. Yeah. I mean, if anything, it would give him the opportunity to showcase more of his creative side, especially with that entrance he had.
he just use him for Nagoya cards, or test him against a good up and coming prospect. So there's roles for fighters like that to play. Not everyone can be like a world champion caliber fighter.
I mean, it's Rising. You don't even have to be a world champion just to get noticed.
Oh, I know. But I'm just saying, like, someone like him very much has a role to play.
I mean, we just were talking about Genji Umeno versus Ryusuke Ashizawa, and Genji had a crazy entrance himself. I mean, the less said about that, the better. I know Andrew basically enjoyed every second of it, but still.
I mean, I give props to Genji. Was that Genji's producer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give him props for rocking the Fundoshi. Yeah, that more power to you, buddy. Because and power to Umeno for doing that back at Otoko Matsuri. Yeah, I wouldn't want to show my posterior part of my posterior in public.
I mean, come to think of it, there's a lot of people that just do it on certain fan pages just for free. But the less said about it, the better. I'm probably not even going to promote my fan page anymore because of that.
Fair enough.
Giving me nightmares and shit. But still, though, enough about the fun and games. I mean, we can basically talk about entrance follies another time, like those old NFL Films football follies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I missed those. Those are good.
Of course. But going back on track here, Let's talk about Ryo Takagi beating Kisa Miyake, the King Pancrase featherweight champion.
Yeah, this was a disappointing fight. It wasn't that. It was kind of boring. I didn't think either guy looked great, but I thought the right guy won. But both of them were just too cautious. I would like to see him in with different opponents. I think that'll bring out the better in them.
I mean, so long story short, despite what Andrew said in the preview in the comment section, this is not going to be a future King of Pancrase title fight.
Probably not.
I mean, come to think of it, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't, because of the fact that, this fight was just so highly anticipated, but it ended up being such a flop.
I mean, Miyake was just too cautious. Or both guys were, but Miyake especially. And hopefully he'll learn from it and he'll be better on the big stage next time.
And as far as Takagi goes, I mean, this is another notch on his belt. What's next for
him? Now, if Ilham Nazimov is not put in against Shadulayev on New Year's Eve, do you do Takagi versus Nazimov?
I think that would be setting up Takagi for an ass whooping. I mean, I think if Takagi ends up fighting Nazimov, he will get ran over.
Probably.
I mean, I do think that would not be a good matchup for Takagi, but if it's what the fans want, okay, you're signing up a guy for a funeral.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how they're matchmaking. Or you could do the winner of Shuya Kimura versus Kazumasa Majima.
Yeah, that too.
So,
but still, though, the less talked about that, the better. Let's go ahead and move on to the lightweight fight between Yusuke Yachi and Bilal Kaihaga. Yachi beats up BKH. Submits him, actually. Rear naked choke, 2 minutes, 59 seconds, round one. No, 2 minutes, 9 seconds, round number 2. But here's the thing, though. Is Yusuke Yachi now deemed an attraction fighter?
What's that?
Is Yusuke Yachi now deemed a gatekeeper as well? And oh, by the way, Takumi said Kisa had his after interview, he cried and regretted the way of his style of fighting.
I would say yes. Yachi's like attraction / gatekeeper at this point. I mean, he is a name still. And as far as Miyake goes, I would say that's pretty encouraging that he recognizes that it wasn't great. And that I would expect him to get another shot and be better next time. He's certainly, he's 26, I believe. So he's certainly young enough and definitely talented enough to come back and be much better.
Oh, yeah. He just turned 26, by the way.
Yeah. So, that's really young, obviously. And he's pretty experienced. I just think maybe get another fight in Pancrase if Rizin doesn't bring him back immediately and then just go from there.
Mm-hmm. And Andrew is basically saying when it comes down to Yusuke Yachi, he should fight Shotaro Debana, a.k.a. Captain Africa, next.
Well, Shotaro will then have Yachi fight the winner of Wonki Bin versus Captain Africa.
Yeah, you're right. But that all depends on if the fight ends quickly for Wan Bin Ki versus Captain Africa.
Yes, versus Captain My Captain. I get it.
Yeah, good one. But
again, where I'm. Yeah, Dead Poet Society. Rest in peace, Robin Williams.
But still, the point of the matter is the fact that we're saying that Yachi's an attraction fighter. If Debana, Captain Africa, beats Wan Bin Ki at Rising Landmark 12, November 3rd. He is definitely going to be lined up as somewhat of an attraction fighter when it comes down to facing Captain Africa.
Yeah, because he's the he's the belt. I call him the belt, the unofficial belt collector.
I mean, come to think of it, coin 50 Cent, he's an underground king who ain't been crowned.
Pretty much. But wouldn't that be on Breaking Down too?
I would think so. Especially considering the fact that it's like you said, they need more Breaking Down guys to put over. Rising does.
Yeah, I mean, well, hey, if you need to sell tickets, you need to sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Or sell pay-per-views, rather. Well, both. How about that?
And Andrew is putting over Charo's stats. He is the Shudo Pacific Rim lightweight champion. Yachi has beaten domestic champions for Pancrase and Grashon.
He has. So, yeah. So, like I said, unofficial belt collector.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now we got 2 fights to basically talk about, and then we can just put over a couple of fights for Rising Landmark 12.
Works.
Mm-hmm. We got Daichi Tomizawa, the fight you were referencing earlier, when he defeated Joe Hiyomoto, shutting up the Black Rose crew once and for all.
Awesome fight. And this is a case where both guys showed something here. Like, I loved this. And Joe Hiyomoto just needs to work on his striking because it looked terrible. No defense. And Tomizawa has definitely improved his grappling from the fight with Ersin, for sure.
I mean, do you think that Joe got off easy with that split decision loss?
I think so. I thought it should have been unanimous.
Oh, yeah, of course, because Tomizawa just whooped that boy.
In the third round, especially, yeah. He was just piecing him up on the feet.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, to be honest, I can't really bash Joe that much. He's only 22. He just runs around with a shitty group of people in Black Rose, and that includes his brother, Ren.
Well, I mean, he's clearly trying to emulate his brother. He's just not as good right now.
I mean, come to think of it, neither one of them are good. I think they're both at 500 now with Joe losing, but still, though.
I think Ren might be one fight above. I'm not sure.
Oh, God. Let me go ahead and check.
But either way, I mean, awesome fight. Definitely brings both guys back. And they have a lot upside. Just, I think Tomizawa's 27 and Joe's 22. So,
yeah.
They just need to be developed. They need to be matched the right way, developed, all that stuff. Whether or not that happens, we'll see. I mean, that's the story with a lot of fighters in Rising these days.
And you're right. Ren Hiyomoto is 4-3 overall. The dude fights. Well, who knows when his next fight's going to be? He hasn't fought since last summer.
No, because he's been freaking injured. And that's where, and I remember Andrew, I think on one of the We Are Rising pods, asked, when do you book it because of his injury history? And that's a very valid question. So I don't know. But getting back on topic with these two, as far as matchmaking, I would put him in with just find some guys from deep who are experienced but vulnerable and match them and have them brought and bring them in. That's what I would do because, like I said, they gotta be matched. They gotta be matched carefully right now.
Yeah. I mean, you can't put them against some top domestic guy, but then again, you can't bring any foreigners in to just rump them up.
No, they've got to serve a purpose.
Mm-hmm. And you know what?
Yeah, overall, I definitely would watch this fight again, and these two definitely were elevated in my mind from their performances. Good stuff here.
And the last fight that we will talk about, again, we had our issues talking about and again, Takumi is saying something. Umeno and Tomizawa trained at the same gym under Takao Inoue. Before Rising 51, Umeno and Tomizawa challenged each other in a bungee jumping contest, but Umeno couldn't jump because he was scared. So Tomizawa jumped twice instead.
Kawhi. Scared. Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow Umeno and Tomizawa both won.
No,
But,
and that would explain why they looked both so improved.
mm-hmm. And of course, we got one more fight to talk about.
Mhm.
And I know we had our issues talking about the heavyweight Grand Prix and how bad it was.
This fight wasn't very good either. This fight sucked too.
So long story short, even though Teato Bambalor defeated Kosuke Kindaichi, who was, let's just face it, blown up lightweight, boosted all the way up to like 216 pounds, hasn't fought at lightweight in about a decade, hasn't fought in an actual fight outside of breaking down in 4 years. I mean, basically, do you think it was really that bad compared to the heavyweight Grand Prix fight?
I honestly probably not, but it wasn't great. But I thought Bambalor, you can see the athletic ability and you see the upside. He just needs to learn the sport.
Oh yeah, of course, because coming over from a sport like Senegalese wrestling into MMA ain't easy.
And it's not exactly the best base to have.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
very awkward.
Basically,
and that would explain why he was barely able to move. That does explain his performance. It doesn't explain Bambalor's.
And of course, by that you're referencing Kosuke Kindaichi, which Takumi put over about an hour ago, saying, "Oh, I remember Kindaichi's fight was very awkward because he got a leg injury at the start of the fight, so he couldn't do anything afterwards."
Yes. Yeah, and that, like I said, that doesn't. It's a reason, but Bambalor, I think, would win regardless because he was just so much stronger and more athletic. Like, it was night and day, the physical differences.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes down to Bambalor, I mean, he had a good. Well, I think he had a good showing. You didn't really think that way, but
no. But I also think that at least he showed he had a decent gas tank.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes down to him training alongside Edok King, do you think that'll make a difference in his fight style?
Too early to say. I without knowing how they train in that gym, in his gym, I don't know. Do they emphasize just a well-rounded game, or do they emphasize a more aggressive style?
Mm-hmm. And going back to the Tomizawa fight, you can watch the Tomizawa promo video. Tomizawa wears his T-shirt, says "Yabaidaro Umeno" T-shirts. But still, though, point of the matter is when it comes down to Bambalor, he needs a lot of work ahead of him.
Mm-hmm. And he's 21, 22. So, yeah, you would expect that from someone so raw.
Oh, yeah, of course. And now that we pretty much put over, well, first of all, I got to say, when it comes down to Rizin, what's your overall summary of it?
Too many decisions. But some good, some exceptional fights, some really bad ones. So as far as like a grade, I'd probably put it 6.5
out of 10.
Yes, I do think that the two finishes in the co-main and the main event really saved this show.
Oh yeah, of course. And now we look ahead to Rizin Landmark 12, which again will be taking place exactly a month now.
Mm-hmm. 4 weeks. And it's on a Monday.
Yeah, it's on a Monday because it's a sports holiday in Japan, but I still can't believe that the event's going to be taking place 2 days before my 33rd birthday. Not that it matters, but still, though. when it comes down to this fight card, there have been 3 more fights added to an already loaded card with 18 fights in total. Card subject to change, by the way. It's going to be taking place at the Glion Arena, Glion Arena in Kobe, Hyogo, Japan. You can check out coverage for that at midnight Eastern on November 3rd, 11 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Pacific on November 2nd, live on Ryzen.tv.
Gargantuan card.
Check out Ryzen.tv for more information, or check out the Ryzen social media platforms. But still, the point is, we got 3 more fights to talk about. Yuto Kentaro Hokumura versus Young Fin Lee. The Danger, Won Bin Ki, fresh off of losing to Roberto Satoshi Souza in Korea, facing off against the aforementioned Captain Africa, Shutaro Dabana, and Vugar Karamov, the first fighter to lose his title in a cage in Ryzen about 2 years ago against Moshingo Koyomi Matsushima.
Yes, who Karshiga Doubtbeck knocked out at the one Top Rights show.
And I find it hard to believe that he's coming back to Ryzen to show his face after all this time.
I think he's under contract. I think Matsushima is under contract with LFA. I read.
Let me see here. Is he under contract with LFA? No, he is not.
I thought I read on Gong that he was.
Maybe Gong. I mean, no disrespect to Gong Kakutoki, but maybe they might be misleading on that one, because his last fight in MMA was back at Gladiator Challenge Series 02 in July of 2024 against Sotnomdorj Purev Dorj.
I think in the article announcing this fight, like describing this fight, I think that he had been having like he was waiting for a visa to the US. Could be wrong on that, but I'm positive that's what was part of it.
Yeah, but the point of the matter is the fact that these 3 fights, which have just been Taro versus Yufeng, Won Bin Ki versus Captain Africa, and Karamov versus Matsushima, which of these fights do you think will probably bring the best interest of this card, especially when you got a possible main event with Seiki Izawa defending her Atomweight title against Saori Oshima? You got Taka Kenshin versus Max Yoshida, which I've been getting buzz from Taylor Lang about the fact that Max took this fight, just for proving how much of a bitch he wasn't. And you got Kohei Hagiwara versus Kiyoma Akimoto, and Taichi Nakajima versus Joji Goto on the same damn card.
I mean, this is a really good card, but it's really freaking long. I would say out of those 3 fights, Karamov, just because he's a name. I am a fan. I'm a big fan of Karamov. I like him a lot. Just a well-rounded, can be a really exciting fighter. I think the couple fights that I would say to watch for, but first off, Kentaro, I don't know why they brought him back. He's a 500 fighter. He's a journeyman. That's all. I don't know what you think.
Not even gatekeeper status to you.
Honestly, no.
And Andrew is saying Japanese fans also don't like these long bloated cards either. I mean,
it doesn't surprise me. Like they could cut out that Kentaro fight. They can cut out the kickboxing, and then have 2 opening fights, and you have 14, 15 fights or whatever it is. To me, that's fine. Like 13 to 15 for a landmark show, like 2 or 3 opening, and then 10 to 12, like 10, 12 main card fights. I think that's fine. But 19 is a little ridiculous.
Well, yeah, 18, 19, 20. I mean, you're going to be forcing fans to stay up, just like you had that 12-hour New Year's Eve card.
Yeah, especially and then you have the Danger of that for having 14 decisions.
Yeah, of course. And you're going to be literally forcing your viewers, of which, oh, by the way, you're forcing your viewers in the Western Hemisphere to stay up on a fucking work night just to basically watch this thing.
3 words, PTO.
PTO meaning?
Paid time off.
Oh, right. But still, though, this card would definitely be a card that you would have to get your coffee set just
More
to
like
watch.
more like a Monster or a Red Bull.
Yeah, of course. Or a 5-hour energy shot.
Yeah, or adrenaline.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you would have to basically be running up and down the damn hallway of your house just to try and get yourself hyped up for this card. But then again, thankfully, J Wolf is not on. Otherwise, he would be hyper blasting the hell out of this card, saying, "Oh, you got 19 fights, you got all this great action, you got a title fight, you got all the superior rule set action, and oh my god!" I mean, I'm sorry for just blowing up like that. I mean, seriously.
No, it's too long. It's too long of a card. It's as simple as that. It doesn't need to be 19 freaking fights. It was already loaded before they announced these 3 fights. Like it was already at freaking 16. You don't need 5 opening fights. You don't need 14 main card fights.
Exactly.
But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. There's no point in complaining about it.
Yeah,
I've said my piece. That's it.
Exactly. And long story short, same reason Osaka guy. But still, though, long story.
Yeah, but even then, you would think that they would, if they're going to put him on the damn card, put him in with someone who's of a similar record to get him a damn win.
Yeah, exactly. But long story short, when it comes down to this fight card, I guess that's why we're going to basically have, well, I would hope that you would be able to return for the preview of this, even though we just pretty much put over our concern about this card.
I mean, overall, it might be bloated it might be more bloated than a sumo's meal, but it's a loaded card. You have a bunch of really good fights on here. Just because we don't like the length doesn't mean that the fights on this aren't good. Well, most of them anyway. That's honestly, Hagiwara Akimoto's fun. I mean, we're pretty damn sure Akimoto's going to win by decision, but that's besides the point. Taichi Nakajima, Joji Goto's good. Yambo Saika's back. He's always exciting. Sho Patrick Usami, Taisei Sakuraba. I have no clue why that was booked, but okay. Seike Izawa Oshima, Super Atomweight title. That finally. You have Kazumasa Majima, Shuya Kimura, veteran versus prospect. Love those fights. Jinotsuke Kashimura, Hyuma, Yasui, 2 phenomenal grapplers. I think might very well be the fight of the night there. Laramie Uchi, to name and Karamov fighting. Just to name a few. And also on the opening fight, in one of the opening fights, Noel.
Oh yeah, Noel Narita versus
Misaki Suda, who I think is 2-0.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like I said, this is a damn good card. Just could use some trimming. But that being said, is what it is.
I mean, one more before we close things out. What about? I mean, like, for real, what about Saku Jr. versus Sho Patrick Usami?
When I saw this fight announced, I was baffled because Sakuraba's coming off a loss. I mean, granted, Usami did not look okay, so she went from main card to prelim. Got it. Okay, but Usami, in theory, should blow through him, but if his grappling and wrestling isn't anywhere near up to snuff, Sakuraba could win. But I it's getting the fight to the ground that would concern me, because Sakuraba didn't exactly show a lot of great wrestling against Nakamura.
Mm-hmm. But still, long story short, fight card is going to be a lot of talking about the next time we convene. Hopefully, you'll be joining me probably around, I wouldn't say around Halloween. I would hope before Halloween, because I don't want to basically waste time between, this card is definitely going to be taking place on a Monday overnight in this country. So
Yes.
we're definitely going to be forcing ourselves to stay up for it.
Yeah. And, where there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm. But still.
Yeah. But either way, doesn't mean you have to watch all of them then and there. I mean, you can always, break it up into sections just because it's so damn long.
Yeah, exactly. Especially considering the fact that, if you got the Ryzen Premium Pass, you can definitely watch it back. I'm just saying, as someone who jots down entrance music and enjoys every second of it, because it introduces fans to new songs, I don't want to miss out on that, especially the use of fucking copyright royalty-free music in the replay.
Yeah, and that's why you see so many of those promotions who stream on YouTube get silence the entrances.
Yeah, they mute the entrances.
Yeah.
But still, though, long story short, it was fun to have you on here again.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, man. Obviously, you don't do social media. That much is certain. But if there's anything that you would like to tell the fans about the Ryzen FF Fans Discord that you're a part of, which, oh, by the way, not in the description of the video version. It will be in the description of the audio version if you're listening to it. But if there's one thing you would say about the Ryzen FF Fan Discord, what would it be and why?
It's a really fun place to be. You have a bunch of knowledgeable fans who don't bullshit. They say what they think. It's good, lively debate, and you don't feel like you're talking to a bunch of fools. I'll put it to you like that.
Yeah, exactly. And Takumi, who is also part of the Ryzen FF Fan Discord.
Bunka no Hi. Culture Day.
Culture Day.
Bunka's culture. So, yeah, Bunka no Hi.
Oh, Unka no Hi.
Bunka. Bunka romanized.
Bunka no Hi.
Yes.
Hi, desolate. But still, though, point of the matter is, the Ryzen FF Fans Discord is definitely a place you would want to be if you want more than just three-letter slop wasting your damn time. Bunka no Hi. Bunka space No space AI.
Possession particle.
Yeah, of course. But still, though, point of the matter is, Ryzen FF Fans Discord is where you want to go if you don't want to be having your time wasted by a bunch of dude bros who don't know shit about fighting, by the way. They just basically are there to troll and harass you. In the Ryzen FF Fans Discord, which if you're listening to this, it is in the description. If you're watching this, I will do my best to put it in the description and post, but you will not have your time wasted there. Other than that, you can follow Andrew Benjamin and all his exciting hijinks over on the podcast, as you can check him out on you can check him out on Twitter, you can check him out on Instagram, you can check him out in Fire Island on Hulu. But still, though, point of the matter is, also you can follow along with Combat Sports Today. They are the ones that basically put over some of this stuff more than I can, more than anybody else can.
Good Twitter feed.
Yeah, exactly. Shout outs to Daniel D. Zubecki, You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram as well, because he's definitely going to be talking about, Marek Samochiuk fighting in KSW. And as far as my links and the links for Focus Fights Audio, you can check those out in the description of the podcast as well. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, you're not going to find anything there. But if you're listening to this on audio, on the podcast feed, on the other podcast platforms of choice, which I hope you give us a positive review, give us some great notes about us, put us over so that we can put this over in tenfold. You'll check out the links for my platforms as well. And Takumi is saying thanks. Arigatou gozaimasu. And again,
do itashimashite.
And as we close things out, all I can say is thank y'all for those of y'all who did tune in to check this out live. I thank y'all for watching. For those who will listen to this on the podcast when we put it out, I thank y'all for listening. I don't do this shit just to basically fuck around and just, be bored. I hope to have more of these down the line, especially when it comes down to the next show that we will be talking about, which is Rising Landmark 12 in Kobe, coming up on November 3rd. But still, though, for all the other projects that I got, especially with interviews and future podcast episodes, aside from this, y'all can definitely check out the link tree for Focus Fights Audio and really Focus Fights in general in the description if you're listening to this. But other than that, that's about it from me, from us for now. We thank y'all for tuning in and checking it out. For Mike, I am Chris. We thank y'all for listening, and we hope to see y'all next time. Deuces, and we out.